Yo, here we go. 609 coming at you again with the Mezco 112 Deathstroke figure. All right, here we see really kind of a dark box. Could be black. I think it's like a black or really dark blue. But then here again, you have the navy blue with the orange with the one eye. That's a Deathstroke right there, and it's in a crosshair, which is actually pretty cool. 112 collective post play display DC on the side. Here on the side of the box, Deathstroke symbol again. This is definitely a lighter blue. 112 Collective, Mezco Toys, same on the other side. Here on the reverse side, you get the rundown of the figure. 112 scale collectible figure, features intricate tailored costuming and over 30 points of articulation, seen that before. Not a toy for children, intended for adult collectors only. That's us. Here's the figure. Interchangeable hands, sword, sheath, pistol, rifle, extra head. Stand, arm, I probably won't even go over that. It's the same, but there you see the stand right there. It's the same crosshair symbol. That one's actually pretty cool. And then here you go, some poses of the figure. All right. Mezco's new mint on, I call this their mint on card collector friendly packaging, because some people keep their stuff mint on card. No more of those giant window boxes. This way, it's nice and displayed perfectly here in this nice symmetrical window. So it can look great. And if you wanted to go in there, you could pull the plastic off so the accessories could be displayed better. But everything is in there, nice and perfect. And you got Deathstroke, and if you wanted to, you could still keep that on top of the figure. So there you get the box and you get the figure inside, because just having an empty box is not nice, you know? Even Marvel Legends has their new collector-friendly way of displaying boxes. All right, I'm gonna pop this bad boy open from the bottom, and then I'm gonna get on with the review. All right, here we have this beaut out of the box and accessories displayed, and I'm gonna start by saying I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna start off with the hands. The pose he's in, he's holding his rifle in his left hand with a left trigger finger gripping the farther down, closer to the barrel, with his right hand. I've seen pictures of this guy. A lot of people have him pictured with the gun in his right hand, holding it up to the left side of his face. But my dude is a pirate. He's missing his right eye. And I thought someone had mentioned that he didn't come with a left trigger finger, and I was kind of bummed. I said, well, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you give a blind guy a left trigger finger? But no, some people just don't know how to pose, and they were posing incorrectly. So yeah, he does come with a left trigger finger. Super happy about that. And it's good if you finagle it just right, you can get him looking down the barrel or down the scope. Just takes a little work because his armor does stop the gun from coming in too close, but you could just work his two hands together and get in a fairly decent pose. All right, so he has two trigger fingers, two gripping hands which can hold the gun, and also his sword, which is nice. Let's see, it slides in there fairly easily. All right, so that hand slides on the hilt of the sword, also holds the gun really well. And it comes packaged with his two fisting hands. On all the hands, it's pretty basic. It's just a glove, a little bit of orange there, and what looks like a metal plate here. Orange color with a little scuffing. There's showing like a scuff mark leak. He's had some battle, and a little bit of a silver peeking through from the bottom. That's pretty cool. The next accessory we're going to go over is his sheath. This does not come on him. It comes off of him. And you can put it on fairly simple. You see there's a little hole there. Little nub. So it's meant to fasten around him pretty securely like that. I'm probably going to run it under some hot water and soften it. And then put it on him. Let it get a little bit soft so I can shape it a little easier. It looks like it's meant to hang this way over his right shoulder because of the way the pouches are. Looks like they would open up this way. Pouches are pretty nice detailed. Two shades of brown. The straps seem to be a darker brown. Kind of matching the darker brown there and the lighter brown here. Alright. Pretty plain scabbard. And the sword that fits nice and snug is a very nice sword. Different from Deadpool's sword, which is good. It'd be kind of lame if they reuse the same sword. The hilt has these ribs to it, and you'll also see some there. As you saw when it slid in, when it was sheathed, it came up to about right here, which is cool. And as Mezco does it, they do it very well. Fits in nicely, snug, And there you go. I like the fact that you can pull them in and out, and it's not like some Japanese imports of the Figma Deadpool where it's just a hilt that goes in there and the sword is separate. Now, why have the extra piece when you can just design a scabbard that works? So that's pretty cool. All right. We'll go into his rifle next, then his handgun, and then we will move to his heads. And from there, we will go into the rest of the body. All right. So, pretty plain rifle. Nice, tactical looking. Almost a solid color, but there's some dry brushing on there. Some silver dry brush. It makes it look like it's got wear. Some scuff marks on it. A scope. All right, top. Same on both sides. An orange stripe and a little orange on the scope up there. Removable magazine with bullets in there. What we've come to expect from Mezco. Very nice. It's a very nice rifle. We'll put that down. Here in his sheath, on his holster, sheath, holster, the holster for his gun. On the side, you see his pistol fits in there very nicely. Very simple pistol. Not a lot going on in detail. Maybe a little bit of silver dry brushing. Of course, the textured grip. Alright, so not a lot of detail going on, but still a nice weapon. With, of course, the removable magazine. Now, this only comes with one magazine. It was separate from the pistol in the package, but it fits in there nice. I'm lucky, see, nice and snug. I'm lucky enough to not have gotten any of the pistols from any of my figures where it's loose and it falls out easily. That sucks. Don't want that. So we'll put that right back in here. We will go into the design of the holster and his armor real quick from what I've noticed so far. Let's move these off to the side. Alright, this piece fits on there and it has a button. Alright, gonna talk about his armor real quick, what I've seen of it while I've handled the figure. His chest piece is separate here. Alright, it appears to be held on by these straps, which is pretty nice, pretty cool. It allows some flexibility. The top piece seems to be one piece there with this that goes around the neck. These leather straps hold it around the waist, around the side here. And the bottom, I can only assume that these connect separately somewhere through some plugs. Haven't seen anyone take it off, so I can't be 100% sure. Or maybe they were put on separately and glued once the figure's in place. But this part here, the lower belt, has a button which seems to want to keep coming undone, but that button is right here, and it allows this piece to close on the figure, and that's how that stays on there. But this does have some motion and some sway to it, which allows the figure to have some flexibility. 2 shoulder pads which are connected to the shoulder here, so they move in and out with the shoulder. They don't get in the way of the upper bicep swivel. All right. Also connected to the belt. His holster here. I'm not sure if this is a plug. It probably does have a plug that connects the holster there with the one leg strap. He has his pieces of boot armor here. And this, which is actually a separate piece held on by a peg. You have to be careful because I've seen a lot of people break this or had it come out of package broken. And then he has his gauntlets here. So that's it for the armor. Okay. Before we go into the articulation of the figure, let's actually talk about these two. It would be cool if these were removable, but that would be a little much. So I'm not hating the fact that these are held in place here. These grenades are not removable. Right, but all in all, figure's okay. So we'll go into the articulation real quick after we go over the head sculpt. You get 2 head sculpts. The one you see, the mask, plain over here, blue, no eyes, since he's a pirate. And then over here, orange with the one red eye, which is really nice detail. Looks very sinister. Looks metallic in the back. So very nice helmet on there. Very nice paint detail. A lot of scuffs. Some silver paint to show scuff marks. Doesn't look like any scuffs are sculpted in there, but they looks like he's had some dings on there, some paint rubbage, which is cool. Okay. And then we have the unmasked Slade Wilson head. Head is nice. Some nice paint detailing on there, more than you get with other figures like Captain Rogers, which seemed super plain. One blue eye, white eyebrows and the beard, which has some nice texture to it, and the hair, which seems to have 2 different shades in there. You can kind of almost make it out. It's like a gray with a lighter white dry brushed over top, and the eye patch that goes around the head. Alright, he's got some wrinkles in his face, some lines. Alright, there seems to be some darker color in there just to bring him out. A furrowed brow. It's not a bad head sculpt. That pops off fairly easily. Yep. And this fits on there like so. Slade Wilson. Alright. Will you focus? Focus. I guess there's a lot of dust floating around. Driving my camera nuts. Alright. So let's get into articulation real quick before I try to slide that sword scabbard on his back. I'm going to start at the head. I did notice that he has the double articulation for the neck at the bottom. He's got his ball peg, which allows side to side, front to back, and the ball peg up top. So he can come forward that much and back, and then you can still get the downward, which stops about there because of the his freaking neck collar, but that's still down pretty far. You don't really need to go much further than that, and he can go up that far, so it doesn't really hinder that much side to side. And you can look your left to right. Pretty cool. Now for the side, if you hold it here and not by the belt when you turn it, you do get pretty decent side to side articulation. His belt keeps coming undone, but I'll have to live with it. Move to the left that far, or the right that far. The left that far. The armor doesn't seem to hinder it as much as you would think, as long as you're not holding it when you're trying to move him. You can, it will slide around and adjust itself. It just seems like after every pose, I will have to redo his belt. He goes back a fairly decent amount. He goes forward a fair amount, which is pretty cool. Now, as for the side, shoulders go out. That shoulder goes out about that much. This shoulder about that much. It seems like if you tuck it under the armor, the chest armor, as you move it, you can get more out of his shoulders. Almost up to 90, though not quite, just because of the bulky shoulder armor. And this one is not as high as this one. This one is more of a point, so the right arm will go up higher. You get the turnaround. You can't really rotate too much, so you won't get 360, just because this piece goes through the cloth into the shoulder. As we saw earlier, upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows allowed to go that far because of the gauntlet. Pretty good. Way more than 90. Almost a 40. Not quite a 45, but up there. The gauntlet has motion, so you get enough turn out of the gauntlet there. And the standard wrist articulation, the 360 degree double ball peg hinge, which is sweet and I love so much. Legs, oh, look at that, get a nice full split going on there. Upper thigh rotation, the double jointed knee, which allows it to go back that far, which is pretty decent. Now, the leg goes forward this much. The armor doesn't hinder the figure that much at all, which is pretty cool. Leg goes back that much. We get swivel rotation at the top of the boot. And like I said, this moves, you have to be careful though, but this has some motion as well, which is cool. And to date, probably their best ankle pivot. Very deep, very deep. Goes back a nice way, forward a nice way. And that plate is hinged here at the bottom of the shin above the ankle, not to the boot. It seems like this figure has skinny ankles. and they may have hollowed it out more on the inside, which is what allows for it to have such deep ankle pivot, since they do just work on a double ball peg here. I think it's their way of allowing the ankle articulation to stay hidden. Some people complain, but if you want more religious articulation, you would have a huge cut here with an ugly ass thing going in there. I'm sure they can find a way to do that and keep it hidden, but that may be later on down the road. All right, so with that deep ankle, you can actually go this far, a little more than the 45, and still keep both feet flat on the ground, which is pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to pause real quick, heat up this sword scabbard, and try to get on his back, and then we'll do a size comparison. All right, still a little bit of the hot water my wife is using to make tea. And just poured a little bit on there. Instantly soft. Still a little wet. Look at that. Perfect. Looks good. Looks natural. I like the fact that it is a separate piece. So again, you can adjust it as well when you adjust the figure for posing. Slide his sword in there. Fits like a glove. Snap back. There we go. And it's pretty cool since the helmet is separate, even though it is his head. It still just looks like a helmet. You could have him holding the helmet or have it on a table, have it somewhere else separate. One thing to notice is that this figure is pretty much the same body as Punisher. So you get the same amount of articulation. It's just the chest is a little hindered by the armor and the shoulders. But other than that, it's pretty much the same body and outfit. This is just the same black shirt, and someone pointed out the same pants, just with a different paint scheme. So you'll see pictures of Slade Wilson's head on a Punisher body. Just Slade incognito. I might actually do that. Here he is standing next to a Mezco Deadpool. As we all know, Deadpool is a copy of Slade Wilson, but don't tell him that. Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson. Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson. Here he is standing next to the Batman vs. Superman Batman. Very good height, nice figure. This figure will look great with Ascending Knight Batman, the Toy Fair version already out. The regular release version will be out soon. The gray and black. I have the mostly black. I won't call it all black at the Toy Fair, but the mostly black version, the Mezco Direct, I have ordered. I'll get that. I will get the gray and black version, and maybe even the Previews exclusive version, just because they all look pretty decent. But my favorite will be the Mezco Direct. And of course, I'm super excited to see this guy next to the next one that they revealed at Toy Fair. I can't recall the name, but it's the next in the line, Ascending Knight. He'll have his middle, like Batman in his prime, similar costume to this, but their own design. And then they'll have an older one, kind of similar to the Dark Knight Returns. At least that's what they said. Looking forward to all of those. Since, you know, Batman is Mez's favorite character, we're going to see a lot of Batmans like we haven't already. I think we're up to like 14 different versions. Here he is next to the Marvel Legend Spidey. Not your tallest legend, but you kind of get it. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Wolverine. Why? Why not? Alright. And here he is next to man down. Here he is next to the DC Icons Black Adam. Because I don't have many Icons figures. Actually, he's like the only Icons figure I have left. You can see he is a little taller than him and broader in all respects. Alright. But there you go. That's it. That's my review of Slade Wilson Deathstroke. Really, really glad I got this figure. I didn't think my comic shop was going to get it. I got it through mallfish.com. Really great. Sent it right out to me in like less than a week. Super happy with the figure. Glad I got it for a reasonable price too. My comic shop said they may be getting it in this week, so if they did, I might get another one. Alright, but thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit like, hit subscribe, come back for more. Check out my Facebook. I'll try and do an Instagram at some point in the future if I can get the hang of it and find the time. Alright, please comment if you have any questions, and I'll catch you later. Peace.